All right. Good evening and good night, and welcome to the It's Your Perspective Talk Show. It is Tuesday, June 19th, 2018. My name is David, a.k.a. Christian, a.k.a. Kimba. Soup is still on special assignment. Should be here tomorrow, should be here next week for sure, man. I just want to say that we have a telephone number, 340-201-9005. You can call or text us on that number. But most importantly, you have to go to our Facebook page. Go to It's Your Perspective Talk Show Facebook page. You'll be able to see the live stream from there. I've shared it around to a couple groups that I belong to. I've also shared it on my personal page, David Christian. You should be able to pick it up there as well. And our guest in the studio tonight, he's also shared it on his page. Might as well tell you who he is. His name is Javan James. He is running for the Senate. Coming up here, the elections in August, right? August 4th. And your number is?
Number 15.
All right, there he is right there, man. Wave to the crowd, man. You're streaming out right now. They're seeing you worldwide, man. And in particular, hopefully everybody here in the Virgin Islands is seeing you for sure, man. So welcome back. You've been here before. Thanks for coming through again. I think before you came in here, you were dealing with the music. Now you're running for Senate. So how you doing, man?
Well, good night. Good night to everyone who's listening. My name is Javan James Sr. Like Mr. Christian mentioned, I'm running for Senate, and I'm feeling good tonight. I'm ready for this interview.
Okay. So let's get right into it, man. So as I like to ask all our guests, tell us a little bit about why you wanted to run. Did you? I know I met you a couple years back, maybe. Was there any thought of running then?
Well, to be honest, yes. You said the last time was music, but actually the last time I was here was in regard to Super Dad 340.
That's right. I'm sorry.
Super Dad 340.
That's right.
Working in the 31st and 32nd legislature sparked my interest for running for Senate.
Okay.
Ever since I came back home in 2014, I've been involved in politics. I've been campaigning, been involved in the process, even to the point that someone saw my talent and they asked me to work in the office in the Senate.
Okay.
And while working in the Senate, I grew a strong hunger for wanting to be a public servant, and I started to volunteer, had a lot of public speaking engagements, and from there on, the love for it just started to grow and grow until I said, you know what, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring.
Okay. So So we always like to say here in the inner circles here that as you work at the legislature, you sort of have a more of an inside track in how the legislature actually works. I mean, do you agree with that?
Yes. Someone could read about read about electronics for their entire life.
Okay.
But until you actually go and get hands-on experience and actually take things apart and fix them and rewire them, you don't really have the experience. You may have the theory.
Yes.
But you have to have the practical knowledge, and I have that practical knowledge working in there.
Okay. So here we are now. You threw your hat in the ring, and what is what has been your passion so far? And also, when you've been canvassing, you mentioned before we started, you've been canvassing already. I mean, what are the people telling you? What are their concerns?
Well, to be honest with you, what they're telling me is that they want new faces. Second, they want GRS fix.
Okay.
Third, they speak about the roads.
Okay.
Fourth, they speak about St. Croix not being developed, and we can do so much compared to our sister islands, other Caribbean islands in the world.
Okay.
And six, they feel as if some of the sitting senators are out of touch.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the things that I've been hearing.
Okay. So let's get into a little bit. Let's talk about your platform. And I mean, what is your platform? When you get in there, I mean, what are you gonna jump on first? I mean, what's your platform? Give us 3 or 4 items that you have.
Well, thank you for asking. My platform is simple, but even though it's simple, it's not easy. The first thing I will be pushing is career and technical education at the St. Croix Vocational School. As we know, that school is not being utilized for what it's intended for right now due to the storms. The past Category 5 hurricanes that passed through here.
Okay.
But as things get back to normal and I get elected, I would have that as a pet project of mine where I'll be making sure that we appropriate funds. I will meet frequently with the Career and Technical Education Board.
Okay.
I'll be meeting with the commissioner and making sure that all their needs are met, and making sure that we actually push in career and technical education programs that's relevant and applies to our St. Croix economy.
Okay.
So it's not to say we push in for electronics when electronics is not a high demand. We want to make sure that we have the programs in place based on our economy.
Okay.
So it's going to be short-term and long-term projects, but most of it is us appropriating funds.
Okay.
And if I need to make any amendments to anything in the Virgin Islands codes, I would be doing that.
Okay. So CTEC is the high school, basically from 9th to 12th grade. A student comes in 9th grade and wants to get electronics. You want to make sure that there's a class there that he can take for 3 or 4 years and get some, and I guess in addition to his high school diploma, he'll get some type of certificate saying that he spent X amount of hours doing hands-on and theory in that field.
And like welding and electrical work, mechanics, because if BP is going to close that deal with our Virgin Islands government, there's going to be a high demand for certain trades.
Okay.
So I know not right away these high school students will be receiving a job. However, we're thinking long term.
Okay.
I'm thinking about the next 5 to 7 years. I'm not just thinking about now.
Okay.
I'm thinking about when these students were in 9th grade, by the time they reach the 12th grade, and our economy start to take off and there's a high demand for trades, at least we know we have them prepared and trained.
Yes.
And if they don't want to stay here, cool, at least we gave them an opportunity and they can go anywhere in the world and utilize that, so we haven't failed our students.
Okay. Okay. All right, so technical education is one thing. I guess the high school, because I guess the other side of technical education, not the other side, but in addition to, I guess, is setting up a school here that, for young adults that have finished high school or aren't quite sure, we want to be able to give them an opportunity as well.
Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because what I also have in mind, and this is not, I'm not reinventing the wheel, this is what the vocational school was intended for when Jovensa was around.
Yes.
Or Mr. Leon Hess. They wanted the vocational school to start from the high school level, and from there, if you want to do higher learning, you can transition to UVI.
Okay.
You understand? So I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just reminding us of what we should be doing.
Okay.
So if you want to take plumbing or electrical to a different level, you can go to the UVI.
Okay, I got you. So what else is on your platform?
Well, the second thing that I would be pushing for is making sure that any business that want to do business on the island of St. Croix, that we do not put a lot of red tape and barriers.
Okay.
And like I mentioned in my most recent forum that I participated in, I mentioned that the Senate passed a bill most recently to expedite the process, and I'm proud of them for that. However, when you pass a bill, and this is for everybody to understand, when you pass a bill, you don't really feel the effects of the bill right away. Sometimes it takes a year or 2 to actually feel it, depending on what kind of bill it is.
Okay.
So I'm not going to cast any blame on them. I'm going to give it time, see how is that going.
Okay.
But I want to continue to make the process easier, eliminate paperwork, eliminate the runaround, going to this agency, that agency, and us have everything centralized.
Okay.
Because St. Croix, if you watch all 4 islands, Water Island, St. Thomas, St. John, and St. Croix. Out of all the islands, St. Croix has the most space for business development and for creating new housing complex and residential areas. So we have to develop the island of St. Croix by bringing businesses. That's how the government makes money, from taxes. So if we continue with the same tax structure that we have and the same economy that we have, we're not going to go anywhere, because it's proven that we can't do much with it.
Yeah.
So we have to make it easier for businesses to do business in the territory.
So this bill you talk about, can you say, I'm not sure what it is, but can you say like what it is specifically? I mean, how is it going to help?
Okay, well, based on what they did, it's a $50 fee. And with that $50 fee, you can get, back in the days, you had to wait a while, wait for this signature, wait for that. So with the $50 charge, they're basically speeding up the process. That's in a nutshell.
Okay.
I want to keep things simple for the common man. All you're doing is you're paying a fee now, up front, and with that fee, you're guaranteed an expedited process.
Okay. So you don't have to pay the fee, and if you want to just endure the longer process, that option is still there.
And to be honest with you, that's like I said, I wanted to reach to a point where the fee that we're paying for, the service that we're paying for right now, I want it to be normal.
Okay.
And then we can charge a $50 fee to make it super, super fast. So like I said, we're giving it time to see how it's going.
Okay.
You know, because sometimes it's trial and error. So I'm not going to cast any blame.
Okay.
So we're going to see how that goes, but I'm going to continue to make it easier.
Okay.
You know, it's like at one point we had 3G internet, and that was like the fastest thing for us. And at one point we were excited. Mm-hmm. I'm saying, okay, now we have LTE.
Yes.
You know, and now LTE is the norm.
Yes.
So I want that expedited process to be the norm.
Okay, I got you.
To help develop the island of St. Croix.
Okay. What else you have on your platform?
Well, the next thing I have on my platform is improving our programs for children, youth, and families.
Okay.
That's very important. When I say improving the program for children, youth, and families, that falls under the Department of Human Services.
Okay.
Right now, you know the situation with Virgin Islands behavioral system.
Yes.
With the government and what have you. Mm. All of that falls under the program of children, youth, and families, the program for children, youth, and families.
I got you.
What I'm going to continue to do is meet with them frequently and find out what they need. Because first of all, we need to understand the role of the Senate. When I go into the Senate, I'm not going in there as a commissioner. Mm. If you need funds, the Senate appropriate funds.
Funds, yes.
If you need an amendment to the Virgin Islands Code, I can provide that amendment.
Yeah, which will make things better.
Make things better for them.
For the commissioner and their department.
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't want people to feel like, oh yeah, I gonna do this and I gonna do that. Within my legislative duties, if you need funds and they're advocating for funds, I would approve the funds or try to get my colleagues to give them more funds. If they need some change in structure of how the structure of the government or that department is, so be it. I will meet with the board. They'll tell me what needs to be done, and I make the necessary changes.
Okay.
But it all boils down to money. But if we want more money, we need more businesses.
Okay.
You understand? We need more revenue. So that's why I focus on the front end business.
Yes.
And also career and technical education.
Yeah.
Because with career and technical education now, we are training our locals, and with that said, we don't have to hire people from the mainland, so we can keep the money here. And if you keep the money here, the money circulates longer. So all of that is part of generating revenue. So before I can even speak about fixing any issues, I address the problem with money, and now we're talking about what I'm going to do for the children, youth, and families program.
Okay.
Which is basically appropriate funds.
Okay. So they're obviously lacking in funds. I mean.
Yeah. Right now, the Virgin Islands government is having, based on the newspaper, they're having a problem paying them, and they want to pull out. So I saw that Senator Riley is trying very hard to allocate some funds to make sure that we can save that program.
Yeah.
But right now, it's going through the court system, and we'll see the result of that.
Okay.
But it all boils down to a lack of funds. If you watch recently in the news, a lot of vendors are complaining that they want to move or stop doing business in the Virgin Islands because of lack of payment. So until we start to generate revenues, we cannot have these programs and services provided for us. So.
Vicious cycle, man.
Yeah,
kind of a vicious cycle, you know. So let me ask you this. So you mentioned that you can appropriate funds and you have to get your colleagues all on the same page. I mean, do you think you'd be able to do that? Because I think at times that seems to be sort of the contention that comes across is that not everybody's in agreement or, you know. Well,
you have to be very diplomatic. And because of me being a part of the process, I saw many times where bills came on the floor and it failed because that individual failed to do their homework or there was a lack of funding. People tend to try to pass bills and there's no funding source. So you have to be realistic when you're approaching these situations. And that's how come is candidates have to be very mindful of promising things because by the time you get elected, there might not be a funding source for your bill.
Okay.
And now you shoot yourself in the foot.
Okay. Can you make a revenue source, or can you? I mean, when you say there's no revenue source, I mean, if you're saying it's not there, I mean, what can you do to get a revenue source?
Well, there's different ways. Say, for instance, you could get federal grants. All depend on the situation. That's one way the government makes money. Federal grants.
Okay.
2, the next way we make money is from taxes.
Yes.
But we don't want to impose any taxes on the people. 3rd, how they make money is through borrowing. Right now, with our situation, we cannot really borrow money. You understand? So the only way for us to truly make money is by bringing more businesses.
Yeah.
And that would be the funding source. You know, but before $4 million. Say, for instance, it takes about $4 to $8 million to save Virgin Islands behavioral services. That should be like petty cash for us.
Yes.
But that seems to be a major problem for us.
Yeah. Just getting that.
We shouldn't be having these problems.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be rocket science.
Okay.
All it means is that our economy
okay.
doesn't fit the kind of government or structure of government that we have.
Yeah. Okay. So you are a small business owner and entrepreneur, and so you have a stake in seeing that, I guess, getting small businesses here, that whole process works. Because like you said, and I guess it's common knowledge that small business sort of runs the economy. You get to hire 1 or 2 people, and they pay taxes, and they contribute to the community, wherever they live at. So you're sort of in agreement with that. That's why you feel the way you about small business, and that's the approach that you want to take.
And trust me, I'm 100% for small business. But on the flip side of things, I'm for major businesses or big corporations.
Yes.
However, we have to be very mindful if we're going to bring big corporations to the island of St. Croix. We have to make sure that it doesn't compete with small businesses and crush small businesses.
Yes.
So what I'm trying to get the Virgin Islands government to tap into is other industries besides the normal grocery store, the normal fast food chain restaurants.
Okay.
The things that we have been seeing over and over. We have to stop. You have to start tapping into different things,
other things.
Technology.
Okay.
Having places like, say for instance, I heard one candidate mention a gubernatorial candidate that sparked my interest, like Amazon, have here as a hub, a storage, for major businesses.
Okay.
Just like how the refinery stores fuel in its capacity in Lime Tree Bay. We could be a hub for the Caribbean. There's millions of people in the Caribbean, so we can have businesses with connections to the States that store stuff here or want to ship stuff here, and then we be the supplier. Or we could go into manufacturing. Okay. I know back in the days we had watch factories, we had coat factories. We need to start getting into those things because those things create a lot of jobs. You need a lot of laborers and manpower.
Yes.
We don't want to bring fast food restaurants that only hiring about 15 people. Yeah. We want to bring businesses here that's going to hire a lot of people, generate a lot of funds, and keep the money circulating. Okay. So enough of the fast food restaurants, enough of the bars, enough of the clubs. Let's think outside the box.
Other types of industry.
Yeah.
Okay. What else you got on your platform?
The next thing that I will be pushing for is promoting healthy living campaigns all throughout the USVI. Okay. I believe that prevention is better than cure. And this is not rocket science. All you're doing is taking some funds, and you just itemizing and saying, well, hey, this is going to go towards, say, for instance, promoting healthy living on social media, running several ads, reminding people of our culture and our diet and be mindful of what we put into our bodies, have billboards around the islands, in strategic high traffic locations, showing people, just healthy tips and reminding people to stay healthy. Okay. Once in a while, you put an ad in the newspaper. Once in a while, you use that monies to hold a event in the community where you remind people of living healthy. And the reason for it, when people think of the hospital, I must admit, we need better health care. However, two reasons why you need to go to the hospital. But the major one is an emergency. Yes. If you have an emergency, you broke your arm, you go to the hospital. You bust your head, you go to the hospital. But we tend to go to the hospital for every little thing. And the reason why, because we're unhealthy. We're sick. So it doesn't need a lot of money to promote healthy living, but if we itemize, say, for instance, $7 to $8 million, and we do territorial wide campaigns reminding people to live healthy and eat things in moderation, and have little forums quarterly, every 3-4 months, or whatever the case may be. And those little things help, because you might not be able to change the mindset or the eating habits of everyone living in the Virgin Islands, but trust me, it will benefit some. If we're doing it consistently, not just once a year. Yeah.
So you're thinking just having, like you said, billboards or big signs with tips. I guess the more someone sees it, this will sort of maybe activate them to start doing what the billboard says. Maybe drinking more water, more fruit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's, a matter of appropriating funds and staying on. And my job would be when the Department of Human Services, the Department of Health come to the legislature, I would ask them the question, hey, how is that going with the funds? How is that initiative that I took? I ask for updates and stay on top of them when it comes to that. And those simple things that we tend to overlook. Someone laugh and say, oh, that's your idea of doing it. But trust me, I am a person that believes in eating healthy and being very mindful of what you put into your body.
I got you.
So we have a burden on the hospital where we have a lot of people who are not insured going there. And the hospital is not going to turn you away from getting treatment. And then at the end of the day, you go there, you get your services. You're in a situation where you don't have much money. So the hospital is left with a bill that no one is going to pay, and then it hurts our government.
Yeah.
So if we start to eat healthy and just tweak our diet and eat stuff in moderation, just remind people in strategic ways, we can lessen the burden on our hospital.
Okay.
So it's
But as you talk about that's another hot button issue is the hospital, and I guess it's state and. Is it being run correctly? I mean, any thoughts on that?
I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and make big promises. The reason for we have a hospital board. No senator that I know of is a doctor. And if there's a doctor based on their degree.
Yes.
But not an actual doctor. So you leave it to the experts. I'm not an expert in health and healthcare and hospital. However, we have competent people on the hospital board. So it's up to them to come up with a plan as well. Don't put all the strain on the legislature. We're one government. Put a plan together and bring it to the legislature, and then let my colleagues and I look over it and make a determination and say, all right, we can tweak it.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is we have to be mindful, because I won't send an electrician to do a plumber's job.
Yeah.
And sometimes we tend to do that with the legislature. We tend to have the legislature fix every single thing. And that alone shows me that people do not understand the role of the legislature. But like I say, as far as appropriating funds, which is the major thing that the legislature does, that's like the biggest thing we do.
Yeah.
Got money tax.
Yeah.
That's our biggest role. So if they need money, so be it. But as far as the hospital, I'm glad that the federal government stepped in and they saw that we are really hurting, and they're offering to fix our infrastructure and rebuild our hospital. I don't know how long it's going to take.
Yes.
Because as you can see right now, 1 minute it's looking like we're moving forward, and next minute FEMA is saying, oh, we don't have enough funds to match, and then 1 minute is this. So I'm patiently waiting to see what the result will be.
Okay.
When it comes to our new infrastructure for the hospital. But hopefully by the time I'm elected, that situation is corrected. If not, it's going to be difficult, because to build a new hospital right now is costly.
Yes.
And our government do not have that kind of money.
Okay.
So I'm praying that the federal government follows through on this deal and give us a nice hospital.
Well, so when you say nice hospital, you're talking about a new hospital or just fixing the one that we have?
Well, some people are saying, let's keep the structure that we have and improve on it. Some are saying, let's get a new one. To be honest with you, I am not here to decide what is best for the people of the Virgin Islands. I think there should be a town hall meeting and have everyone discuss it in a professional environment and ask the people exactly what it is. At least get the public input before we force things down people's throat. But I would like to see something that's new. But what they're saying, if we build a whole new hospital, it leads us to a disadvantage where we're going to put people. Some people don't want to be in the modular units. So someone's saying if we just work with what we have, because I heard a person said that the structure that we have, nothing's wrong with the beams and the structure. It's actually strong.
Okay.
It's just little tweaking the frame, dealing with the little pipings and what have you. So they would like to see that we keep that same structure but just make it better.
Okay.
That way we won't be without an hospital, and we could do it piece by piece, segments by segment, instead of just closing down the whole thing, and then we have to
build a new one.
Living like a third world country.
Okay.
Which makes sense. But I still think that it requires public input, and at the end of the day, I will leave it up to the experts to determine that. Because we don't want to put ourselves in a situation where Roy Lester Snyder is down. Wang Louis is down. We're trying to reinvent the wheel when we could just work with what we have. So we have to be very mindful with that.
So I guess the thing too is that I guess you could run into some contention if we get a new hospital here. St. Thomas might want one too.
You know how that goes.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a thing like that. So yeah, I get what you're saying. But I guess for me, it's just making sure that the hospital is running, because when the few times in the past that they have said that the hospital may be closing, I'm like, damn. I mean, this is just sort of not what you want to hear.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When in 1999 they spoke about Y2K, and then they spoke about the ending of the world. They spoke about things shutting down, and I heard a lot of these fear tactics from time I was a very young boy.
Okay.
And from my 30 years living, I haven't really seen any major situation where things are being closed down and there's a big domino effect and people are going crazy. I don't think our leaders will let us reach that far.
Okay.
So sometimes, we hear the news and it makes us feel like, oh, the world's going to end. But I have faith in our leaders as much as, we have our differences in the Virginians. They won't lead us down that path of destruction.
Okay. All right. What else you got on your platform?
Well, I spoke about promoting our arts, dance, history, music, and unsung heroes. When I get into the legislature, I have some individuals who I would like to honor.
Okay.
As far as music, people will know I have a musical background. I feel that on the island of St. Croix, and I will continue to say the island of St. Croix, because once I get elected, I will be a senator in the district of St. Croix. I think that we have a powerful music industry. However, it can be improved.
Okay.
As far as the structure of our music industry, I don't think it's up to the level where those Jamaican artists, Trinidadian artists, and those artists on the mainland. Now, as the government, there's only so much we can do, because, it requires the private sector to take the lead as far as record labels, A&Rs, and all that stuff.
That's all like small business kind of stuff.
However, we can tweak the laws to make sure that it's benefiting locals and it's generating some kind of revenues and bringing some kind of attraction, because people name one person that doesn't like music.
Yes.
And I would give them $1 million.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is we have an advantage where we're the only set of islands in the Caribbean where majority of the people is of color. We have reggae artists, we have calypso artists, we have people who can sing rap and all kind of music. You name it, we have it. And if we capitalize on that, where we can, besides holding a festival, St. Croix Festival is the biggest music event on St. Croix. Why we can't have other stuff throughout the year?
Throughout the year, yeah.
I believe that we have 4 seasons. We have winter, we have spring, we have fall, and what's the next one? Summer.
Which is right now.
Summer. So why we can't think in that way? We have a big event in the winter, which is festival. Why we can't have for 3 other seasons where people from all over the world look forward to coming to this big musical fest, and we market it right, we do it good. Like I said, it's going to require some work from the private sector, but we're going to make sure as a government we do our part with Department of Tourism and helping them in whatever way we can to pull off these big events, and that's marketing in itself.
Okay. So as you talk about bringing more people here, to me this sort of ties into the whole thing of like hotels.
And of course we're going to need hotels.
Okay.
Yes, of course we're going to need hotels.
Okay.
It's like, which one come first, the chicken or the egg? And I told people this: you want to do things small. You don't want to do things too big and fail. Like, I have a vision where St. Croix could have international flights coming in, people from different parts of the world. I was very excited when the governor said at one point there's going to have a Chinese Airlines. I don't know what is up with that, but it would be nice to have international flights come. But if they come here, where are they going to stay?
Yeah.
There's only limited hotels. So, of course, we need hotels.
Yeah.
But before that, which one you think comes first? Building the hotels first or getting the airport first?
Well, for me, I think in a sense, I think building a hotel, it just shows the world what we the commitment.
Exactly.
It shows the commitment,
And to build a hotel is going to take a while. And while the hotel is building, we are promoting and marketing it. I'm saying, hey, to the world, this Trump Hotel or whatever the hotel is going to be, is going to be built in the Virgin Islands. And we just showing that out to the world.
Yeah.
While we're doing that, we're negotiating. And when I say we are, mostly the governor, negotiating deals to have more international flights here. And while we're doing that, because it's long-term planning.
Yes.
While we're doing that, we have the Department of Tourism working with different artists and promoters and trying to get things ready. So within 3 to 5 years, you can have that big vision.
Yes.
Of you having planes landing, hotels here, music industry already prepared because you have been planning with Department of Tourism. Everybody's on board. Boom. Lights, camera, lights, and action. Lights, camera, lights, and action.
Yeah.
So we have to do long-term planning. We like to do the easy way, which is just get a cruise ship here. To me, that's easy.
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs of negotiating a cruise ship deal, but just having a port and having the cruise ships come here and then having the businesses, that's easy.
Yeah.
But what I'm speaking about is way bigger than that.
Yeah. 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 The short-term vision and the long-term vision.
Yeah.
What about tourism?
Why we can't have other stuff throughout the year?
What are your thoughts on tourism?
Much respect to our Commissioner of Tourism. I like some of the initiatives that she's taking. Much respect to Pressure. That Virgin Islands nice initiative was good. I imagine if we do more projects like that, whether it's local artists or major artists, having like Pitbull.
Yeah.
Right now they have that big song with the Marley brother. I got options.
Yeah.
Imagine we have, like major artists like that endorsed in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
Whether it's just for 10, 15, 30-second ad, just endorsing the Virgin Islands, like, hey, yeah, man, and Pitbull been to the Virgin Islands, loving this, like endorsing.
Yeah, I got you.
That would look good on us.
Okay.
So we have to start thinking like that. And I'm not saying as a senator I can make that happen, but as a senator I can start the conversations. Because it may not be within my legislative duties or roles to make that happen. However, I can spark that conversation with the powers that I have. I can sit down and talk with the commissioner. When they come to the Senate hearings, I can ask, hey, can you do this with the budget and itemize that and place that in the budget and have that conversation.
Okay.
It starts with conversations, and it's up to them to take the initiative.
Okay. Now, what about more cruise ships? I mean, is that sort of part of your vision too? Maybe getting more cruise ships here, because you go to St. Thomas on any given day. There's 4 or 5 there. There's hundreds and hundreds of people walking around. But getting that here, getting more cruise ships here. I mean, is that part of your vision too? To
be honest with you, I want us to be different from St. Thomas and St. John. And when I say different, it's not in a bad way. Coca-Cola is a big brand, but Coca-Cola has several products. You have Sprite.
Yeah.
And you actually have Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
You have Pepsi and you name it. So what I'm trying to show you, I want to see the Virgin Islands like that, where there's a Sprite, there's a Coca-Cola, and there's a different brand.
Okay.
But all of us is one U.S. Virgin Islands. We have different identities.
Okay.
So if it's fixed, why try to break it? If it ain't broke, why try to fix it?
Yes, I got you.
So leave St. Thomas with the cruise ships. Some might not like what I'm saying because some would like to see more cruise ships here. But with the ample land that we have on St. Croix, we can do major things compared to the cruise ship industry.
Okay.
And why put all our eggs in one basket? Today or tomorrow, the cruise ship industry say, I'm going to pull out. We're going to decrease the amount of cruise ships coming to the Virgin Islands on a whole. You know what will happen to our economy? It'll fail. Exactly. So we have to diversify our economy. Yeah. So if that works for St. Thomas, leave it. You know, whatever works for St. John, leave it. Okay. The problem with St. Croix is we watching our sister islands all these years like, oh, we want what St. Thomas has. Oh, we want. No. Let's focus on something different. Like I said, manufacturing companies where that is supplying, where that is providing a lot of jobs. Like the BP deal. That's going to bring a lot of jobs and generate a lot of revenues. The music industry that I spoke about, having international flights come to St. Croix, having more hotels. Let St. Thomas be. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where the money is coming from. The money goes into one treasury. That's what I want people to understand.
Yeah.
So if the money is generated from St. Croix, St. Thomas, or St. John, or Water Island, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
It goes into one treasury.
Yeah.
So once you get to understand that, it will make us realize that we have to really be different and diversified.
Okay. Okay. What about there's this whole thing of medical tourism too. Just getting, people that may have cancer or any kind of serious medical condition coming here to maybe have their surgery and then spending 2, 3, 4 months here in recovery, getting, just the weather and just the peacefulness of the island. I mean, you for that, against that?
I am for it. But to say I would be actually writing a bill about that, no. I heard several candidates speaking about that, and I think people should go based on their strengths. And if that is their strength, just like how I have my pet projects and the 3 main things that I will be focusing on, if that's what they want to do, I am for it. So if any of my colleagues come up with an idea and they come on the Senate floor, I will vote yes for it. I think it's a great idea. And hopefully one day we can get medicinal marijuana in the Virgin Islands. When it comes to recreational usage, I think it's already like normal to me.
Yeah.
I see people on the street smoking it. No police officer is really disturbing you or bothering you right now.
Okay.
Unless you're out there doing some crazy stuff. So when it comes to recreational usage, that's a whole different ball game. I will refrain from even speaking about that because I will be selling a dream to my people. We have federal laws that we still have to go through. If we want to turn it into an actual industry,
yeah.
If we plant in marijuana and I don't know St. Croix, you want to ship it to St. Thomas, with federal law, maritime law, it puts you in a bind.
Yeah.
So you can only use it here, and we only have a population of over 50-something thousand. That won't be lucrative.
Yeah.
Compared to a state in Colorado where there's millions of people coming through, and they have interstate and super highways where you can go from one state to a next state and you don't have to worry about maritime law because maritime law deals with the sea.
The sea, yeah.
And once you go in the air with it, it's a federal
there's
crime.
another thing too, yeah.
So,
but what about? I don't know. I just have this vision of once it's made public that you can come here and smoke a joint. That if this is advertised in the United States, you sit at home with your wife, your girl, and a TV commercial pops up and it says, "Oh, come to St. Croix. It's okay to smoke a spliff here. No one's going to bother you. Just come down here and enjoy the island." For some reason, I feel like people are just going to come here in droves.
To be honest with you, I would like to see a hotel solely just for that.
Okay.
And we give them certain permissions and say, hey, when it comes to that hotel, you can smoke marijuana. Nobody's gonna bother you.
Okay.
It's like you're decriminalizing it.
Yes.
It's like we allowing it on a local level.
Yeah.
So everybody knows, hey, this is a spot. You want to go to a hotel. That's,
Yeah, and be
because
free about
some hotels you can't really smoke there, but some people take the risk.
Yeah.
But if you know for sure, like, hey, man, you could smoke in this hotel.
Yeah.
People will go there.
People will come
You'll be
down.
surprised.
Yeah. Okay.
But we have to be very mindful, and with the federal law, tomorrow, if they want to repeal or reverse the decision, they can reverse the decision. Same thing for the Virgin Islands.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that if we're going to have stuff like marijuana being legal, it is going to benefit the common man.
Yes.
The average person, the locals.
Yeah.
Because
we want to make sure that people can get jobs in that industry.
Not necessarily jobs. I'm totally against jobs. I'm for ownership.
Okay.
I would like to see people like us owning things.
Owning part of the process,
And to be honest with you, to start those kind of industries require a lot of startup money.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people out here have that kind of money to start those industries. Before you see any profit, you have to do a lot of investment into that industry. So it's going to create a situation where the smaller man can't really fit into that. And then people from elsewhere with longer pockets will come here and benefit from it. So it's going to create some friction and some tension. And then, you create a hostile environment. We don't want violence and things.
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that everybody benefits. Or a good amount of people benefits from it.
The local people benefit from it. Okay, that sounds fair. One of the things, as we switch gears a little bit here, the Super Dad 340, has that helped you in preparation to be a senator?
To be honest with you, that's a personal thing. Like me being how to say it? Me being a great dad is the reason why I can do the things I'm doing now, because I'm living with a purpose. I know when I come here, yes, I'm doing it for the people of the Virgin Islands, but it's also to make sure that my children have someone to look up to. You know, I had my father to look up to. My father was involved in politics. He did a lot of community outreach out there.
Okay.
So I'm basically following my father's footsteps. So by me doing these things and being a super dad and this whole super dad 340 movement, I'm trying to get fathers out there to understand, like, yo, I'm not saying you have to be perfect, but at least be there for your children. You know? Just because you smoke, that doesn't make you a bad father.
Yeah.
Just because you're not with the lady for your children doesn't make you a bad father. Once you're involved in that child's life, once you're always involved, showing up to school, you know, involved in homework.
Yeah, be active.
Taking them out. That's what really counts.
Yeah.
You know, it's not about money or the most expensive shoes. How much shoes is how much time you invest in that child. So to answer your question, did Super Dad 340 help me? Politically, no. Personally, yes. And because it helped me personally, it helped me in the political arena.
Okay. Is there anything that you can do or could do if you get in that would, and I'm just kind of reaching on this question here, that as a father yourself, Super Dad, anything as far as you as a senator could do I don't know, to make things better? I mean, you know, you probably talk to a lot of dads, and you hear them, you know, voicing their concerns about many things, and probably even giving good praise. But anything that you could do, I don't know, maybe have like a Super Dad Day or something. I mean, just
to be honest with you,
and the reason I ask this is because Father's Day just passed, and you know, the thing is that Dad's still getting the raw end of the stick still, and you know,
and I'm glad you mentioned it, because that's the reason why I even pushed back my Super Dad 340 event, because Father's Day is every day.
Yes.
But I don't want to bring Super Dad 340 into my political life. However, as a senator, what I want to do is, for those who are being incarcerated, I want to make sure that they're getting rehabilitated.
Okay.
And they're given a fair chance when they get into the real world.
Okay.
And because I know I have friends who have a very good heart, but they made mistakes. And because of those mistakes, they cannot survive in the real world.
Yes.
You know, they're still paying for their wrongdoings. And I'm not here to condone wrongness, but at the same time, if this young man or whatever age he is has children, was just released from prison, how is that person going to function in the real world?
In the real world, yeah.
Some people might say, well, what are you worrying about that for? That's his business. He messed up his life. Yeah, he messed up his life, and the law dealt with him. He served his time. Now you release him back to the public.
To society, yeah.
He deserves a chance.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be making sure I'm fighting for those who have been released from prisons. But as far as those who never did time and their hands are working, their feet are working, and they can get up and do something.
Do something, yeah.
You know, I can't be feeling too sorry for you. If your hands are working, go out there and work.
Yeah.
Go out there and volunteer. Go out there and start a business.
Yeah.
Do something.
Okay.
But those who are really in poverty, going through like who are disabled and those kind of situation, those are the people that really, really, really have a soft heart for. And like I said, those who are incarcerated, I want to see them getting into skills.
Yeah.
Hopefully they will take advantage of the vocational school and make it a requirement. Once we release you to the public, back into society, go and take up a trade. It's mandatory, or at least do some customers, some community service hours. Because volunteering and doing community service builds your self-esteem. It makes you feel better as a person. And it shouldn't be seen as punishment.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's a second chance for you to get involved, be sociable, network.
Yeah. And the thing with volunteering is, my mom used to tell me this a long time ago, you know, volunteer your time. But I think the sort of the stigma with volunteering, I've done volunteering, but I think the stigma in general is that you don't get paid for it. And people like to get paid for doing stuff.
David.
But we all know that's not what volunteerism is about. Volunteering is just giving, you know, every Saturday for a couple hours, you just volunteer your time to a cause. whatever it may be, and hopefully the plan is that hopefully after it's all said and done that you feel good about yourself.
David,
and don't feel like you need, that $100 for the 2 hours. You just spent your time and it's all good.
Because of me volunteering, that is the reason why I can do all these things. People might see me on social media, see me doing this, see me doing that, and they feel like, wow, Javan making money, Javan doing his thing. I'm proud of him. And a lot of things I do is for free.
Yeah.
I don't want any money. When you see me in those schools speaking to the students, that's for free. I don't need a cent.
Mm-hmm.
You don't owe me anything, because I know growing up, when I was going through my little phases as a young man, mentors helped me, teachers helped me, the village helped me, and it would be wrong and it would be ungrateful of me, now that I've reached this far, to turn a blind eye to the same community that embraced me and helped me become this person I am today.
Yeah, I got you.
So I totally believe in giving back and volunteering. And like I said, when you release those prisoners or those who did time back into the society, make it a requirement for them to volunteer. Now, some people may say, well, I don't want to deal with no criminal. It's not everybody doesn't think that way. And I know there are people out there who are willing to give these young men a chance.
Yeah.
And if we give you that chance, and you did those community service hours, and we give you a chance to learn a trade or a skill, and you still screw up, you deserve some hard time.
Yeah. Punishment X. I got you.
And 1 or 2 years.
Yeah, I got you. Let me ask you a question, man. On this sheet I have here, it says "do the right thing."
Yes.
So, what do you mean by that?
Well, do the right thing is, I could name 3 reasons why I came up with that.
Is that from the movie?
No. While on my campaign trail, right?
Okay.
I made my announcement on October of 2016 on Facebook.
Okay.
And almost everyone I ran into would say, Javan, whatever you do, just do the right thing. And I was like, all right, cool. And then I had some elders in the community told me, I'm going to vote for you, just make sure you do the right thing. And then I was in my car one day and I was listening to a commercial, and the commercial ended with "do the right thing." I was like, man, God is trying to tell me something. So I ran with it. And I made out my campaign slogan.
Okay.
And then secondly, some might say, what do you mean by that? But it's impossible to do the right thing all the time. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. We're not living in a perfect world. It's not all the time Javan James will do the right thing. And when I say that, meaning we have times in the legislature would have to make some tough decisions. It will hurt us now, but it will benefit us later. So some people might not see that as doing the right thing because they're thinking short term. But in the long term, we're making a sacrifice right now to benefit us later. So I know I will make some decisions that some people will say, Javon, that ain't the right thing. But I know deep down in my mind, based on the research and the calculations that I've done, that is the right thing. So with that said, I'm not perfect, but I will do the right thing. When it comes to voting on a bill, I will make sure when I vote in for things in the district of St. Croix, that I'm doing the right thing to push for St. Croix.
Okay. All right, so let me also ask you to, under do the right thing, you have transparent, innovative, and courageous. So why you choose those 3 words? Yeah,
because if anyone knows me and follows me on social media, they will know that I'm very transparent. I share my whole life basically with people. I let you know the downfalls, I let you know the ups. I show you who my family is, what I'm involved in, my work history. Just go on my social media and my story is there.
Yeah.
So as far as being transparent, once I get into the Senate, I plan to be transparent by having town hall meetings, getting the public involved. If you come to my office, it will be an open door policy, which should be the norm. However, I'm just reminding people that, hey, that's your right. I'm here to serve you. And if you need to know something, I will try my best and do the right thing and be transparent. As far as being innovative, you heard my ideas. And that's not even all my ideas. Thinking outside of the box. I'm young, energetic, coming with that youthful energy. Okay. Also with a touch of matureness. Okay. So as far as being innovative, I'm going to be thinking outside the box, trying to get us up to standards when it comes to technology, utilizing the resources that we have when it comes to VINGN.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have a powerful internet base here, and I think once we have millennials involved, like myself, we can be able to become more innovative and more advanced when it comes to technology.
Okay.
As far as being courageous, just to even run for Senate, trust me, it's not easy. And for the fact that I'm 30 years old, making 31, that alone would tell you that I'm courageous. I'm not afraid. Some people will say, "Oh, when they go in there, they're going to chop you up and they're this and that, and they're going to try to swallow you." I believe in David and Goliath. I'm not going in there arrogant and naive, but at the same time, I know my thing. I'm knowledgeable, and I'm not going in there blind, and I'm ready for Goliath.
Okay. So who's Goliath?
Goliath is that word fear.
Okay.
It's not an actual person.
Okay.
But fear holds a lot of people back in life.
Okay.
A lot of people say, I want to run for Senate. But that fear factor in them would not even make them even walk to the election system, the Virgin Islands, and ask for a petition or nomination paper.
Okay.
You know, so my biggest enemy is fear, and I'm
Okay.
here to conquer fear. It's not an actual person I'm targeting. I'm just dealing with fear.
Just your personal fear.
Yeah.
Of what to be. Okay, that sounds good. So let me ask you this here on this paper I have here. You talk about welfare, promoting healthy living campaigns all throughout the United States, and I guess that ties into the eating healthy.
Yes.
But living healthy, I guess. What do you mean by living? I mean, just what, affordable housing? I mean, what do you mean?
Well,
the conveniences of
healthy living campaigns all throughout the U.S. When I say campaigns, meaning like you said, I'm campaigning.
Yes.
You have like campaigns reminding people like, hey, eat healthy. Hey.
Okay.
You know, it's more like marketing and promoting and
Okay.
doing community outreach.
Okay.
Brochures. I know the Department of Human Services are already doing it.
Okay.
Well, we just change it up, switch it up, add some more youthfulness to it.
Yeah.
Get some young people involved.
Okay.
In some of their initiatives and do community outreach.
Yeah.
Whether it's on a volunteer basis.
Okay. Okay.
You know?
So let's talk about another hot button issue here is the GRS.
GRS?
Yeah. How can we fix that? You know, what's the simple answer?
I'm glad you asked me that because I watch your show and I saw candidates come up here. I'm not gonna call any name, and they will give you these long speeches and make it sound fancy. I'm gonna keep it simple. We need to generate revenues.
Okay.
Plain and simple. $4 billion, is that gonna drop from the sky? No.
Mm-hmm.
However, one full basket.
Yes.
Like I tell people, you want the short term, we need $4 billion right now.
Mm-hmm.
Long term, strategically, if we develop the island of St. Croix, and I repeat, the island of St. Croix, strategically, we could be able to generate revenues. And once we generate revenues and we boost up the private sector, we can have certain people from the public sector work in the private sector. So slowly but surely, we could reduce our expenses and our overhead in the government. And by doing that now, we could be able to save more money in government.
Yeah.
And we could use that money that's overspilling and we put it back into the GRS.
Yeah.
You know, right now, some people might consider our government to be top heavy. We have all these big positions and this and that. And then we have the unfunded mandates. We have 9 unfunded mandates that were our Senate passed in these past years. And it's really shooting us in the foot. So my thing is this. Once we have more revenues generating, whether it's $12 million from the big manufacturing company that we brought forward.
Bring down, yeah.
Okay, we could take $3-5 million and put that in. We have entertainment industry bringing in all these revenues, and the Department of Tourism is benefiting, and we have more planes landing. So that alone brought in $50-75 million. Okay, take some of that, put some into the GRS.
Okay.
You know, we have these manufacturing companies that I spoke about, big businesses coming in. Boom. Yes, bring in some of that money. And with businesses, once new businesses come, we get gross receipt tax. We have excise tax. And not only that, those who are working we get personal income tax on them.
Yes.
And then they're going to pay for rent. They're going to pay for WAPA and other licensing fees and permits and startup fees. So all of that is generating revenues. See the importance of starting businesses.
Yeah.
So once you got all these things happening, slowly put them in the GRS. You don't have to put all in the GRS, but you put some. After you pay the bills and the cost of operation, what's left back, put it in the GRS.
Okay.
But as far as $4 billion, I don't even think our Virgin Islands government economy is produced that amount of money.
No, that's a very high number.
On an annual basis. If I'm not mistaken, it should be $2 billion. So the GRS on funding liability is $4 billion. That's twice the amount of how much money we make or produce in the Virgin Islands.
Yeah. So a lot of money.
So I would be telling a lie right now to say that I have a plan to fix that right now.
Okay.
But like I spoke to you earlier about, if we think long-term plan and we have St. Croix become more business friendly and start to generate more revenues and get more planes landing, because that's when a plane land, that's fees as well, taxes as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So and then with hotels, we spoke about getting hotels.
Yeah.
We have hotel taxes.
Yeah.
So all we basically need is business.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely we reduce our expenses in government, reduce the cost of living through improving our WAPA situation, you know. And slowly but surely, we reduce the cost of living. People will be able to spend more. When people spend more, the money circulates and it ends up back up into the government coffers. So we need to have an economy where we promote spending and not too much saving.
Okay, I got you.
Because right now, everybody's saving because everybody was holding on to the little that they have. So that stifles the economy.
Yeah.
We want an economy where people spending, drinks. Like when Jovensa been around in those days, everybody spending, everybody going to the club, everybody doing this, everybody going to St. Thomas, joining the seaplane, and money was circulating.
And that's what's going to get the money circulating. Yeah.
But right now, everybody hold on. Son, I don't know when I get money again. Let me just hold on to my money tight.
Yeah.
That hurts the economy.
Yeah, I got you. Let me ask you about so the GRS. So there's no. What about some other options? Some people talk about 401k. I mean, is that something that is possible, doable to sort of? I don't know if it would fix, but it gives us an option, or maybe give the employees an option of the traditional system, whatever it is, and then 401k, or I mean, you know.
Some people are afraid to speak about the elephant in the room, and the governor. Much respect to the governor. It could have been any other governor. I would have said the same thing. I always have respect for whoever is sitting in government house. It's not an easy job. However, the governor needs to do the right thing. And when we have the GRS contributions coming out of the payroll, put them where they belong.
Okay, which is what it should be doing. I mean, that's what it's for.
When you don't do that now, yes, you could be able to take care of other
obligations
that you have, but you're hurting us in the long term.
Yeah.
You know, so all we have to do is the system. Nothing is wrong with the system, you know. It's the players of the system.
Yeah.
The system is nice. We have a good government. We have a good Virgin Islands. It's just the players at the board.
Okay.
You know, it's like we're playing a domino game, and you have three guys that don't know how to play domino. Only one person could play domino.
Yeah.
That one person gonna manipulate the board.
Yeah.
But when you have 4 good domino players on the board, competitive.
It's competitive,
you know?
Yeah.
So we just need to be mindful of the key players and not speaking directly to the governor. Does whoever's on the GRS board, whoever is giving the governor advice on these poor decisions, and just put the money where it belongs. As you take it out of the people's paycheck, you put them in the GRS fund.
Okay. So are you against? I know that I read somewhere just recently that the governor was thinking about raising the contributions. I don't know if you saw that. I
think that's a great idea because he's not raising contributions on those who are making a smaller income, 65,000 and up.
Oh, so that's what it is. So if you're making 65 and above, your contributions
goes up.
Goes up.
So all along we've been saying, oh, why those guys on top won't reduce the amount of salary they're getting? But in a way, that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
they're taking home less.
Yeah.
And by them taking home less, it benefits the GRS.
Okay.
Now, those who are making 65,000 and up might complain because they're like, why are you taking home less money? But what about the smaller guy who's only making 30,000? And after GRS and tax and all that stuff, he's only going home with like 17, 18,000.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's fair.
Okay. Okay. I didn't know that there was the part about if you made over 65 that this is who would be affected. I thought it was just across the board.
No.
Whether you made 30,000 or you made 100, your contribution would increase.
And based on the salary that you're making.
Okay. Okay.
From what I read.
Okay. 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 Good. So let's switch gears here. Another issue another hot button topic here that where's my notes at here is the reapportionment. That's another thing that everybody's talking about. I'm not going to profess that I understand it completely. I don't think even the powers to be kind of understand. But I think what they're getting after is just some kind of change, making a change that will make more people accountable. So let me ask you this, Javan. So would you be in favor of less senators as a whole part of this reapportionment process that we're trying to now implement? Less senators,
if
less salary. Would you be in favor of that?
If we have less senators, then those senators need more staff.
Okay.
And we need other positions similar to like mayors or councilmen.
Okay.
The reason why I'm saying this now, because when we have, say for instance, 1 or 2 senators per state, right? But when they meet as a body, it's over 400 something of them, right?
Mm.
All right. So if we have, say for instance, we have 3 senators, you know, that's an easier way for corruption to get into our economy or in our government, because you have 3 people who can conspire and say, hey, we're going to take over this place. And that's what I'm trying to show you. But when you have more people to the table, you have people who can object. You know, you have opposition.
Okay.
You need opposition.
So you can't have opposition with 3 people?
Listen to me. I would say we need more than 3.
Okay. Because I'm thinking we got 15 now. Why don't we take it down to 11? Can't we do better with 11?
We had 11 before.
Okay.
We had 11 senators. Prior to 1966, we had 11 senators.
And it went up to 15.
And some brilliant people came up with an idea to have 15 more senators.
Okay.
And change it from districting to just 2 districts. Mm-hmm. St. Croix District and the St. Thomas St. John District.
Okay.
But before he had senator at large, he had senator at large on island of St. Croix and senator at large on island of St. Thomas.
Okay.
But I guess these guys was running from responsibility or accountability.
Yeah.
And they said, you know what, we're going to create different districts.
Okay.
And some might say, well, St. Thomas and St. John together is 8 senators, and then St. Croix alone will be 7. You know, so it's not really fair or even. However, we can still work with the system. Like I said, nothing is wrong with the system. It's the players. Mm-hmm. It's the players. Mm-hmm. And we vote for the players of this game. But at the end of the day, I am always open-minded. I respect the initiative of Mario Moorhead and his sibling. I had a conversation with him most recently on his radio talk show, and he enlightened me on a lot of things that transpired prior to 1966 and the reason why we end up with the government that we have. And the only way I will be for reapportionment if Mr. Moorhead and his sibling and the team continue to have public input and educate the masses. You know, and if anybody out there is listening, I would encourage them to study politics in the British Caribbean. Like places like Antigua and what have you, where they have districting. They have prime ministers and leaders from different districts. Say, for instance, you have a leader from Saint Farm, and that person representing Saint Farm, Castle Coakley, and Peteres. And you have a next leader representing a portion of Frederickstead, and by the time you know, it's about almost like 7, 8, 9 of them. So study politics in the British Caribbean, mostly Antigua, and you would understand what districting is about.
But do the districts have to be that small?
Well, I just using an example so people
that
have
seems
a
like
general idea.
Yeah.
But it's going to be more residential areas than that.
More estates.
More estates. But
as a part of a district.
Just give them a general idea.
Okay.
Yeah, because St. Croix has a lot of estates. And
you
need more estates for that one person to cover.
Okay.
But that's just a general idea to give an understanding.
But you mentioned mayors. I mean, is all that really needed though? I mean, having mayors and all this other stuff. I mean, why can't we just say, okay, we had 11 back then, we're going to go back to 11 now, and just function? I think it'll make the 11 more accountable. Maybe instead of working, 5 hours a day, you work 8 because you got to be out there hitting the street, talking to the people and making change, making things better.
I just want to clarify the reason why I use the word mayor is because I was using an example where people were saying why we don't have like 3 senators.
Okay.
But in a state where you have 2 senators or 1 senator, they have a different structure for that state. You have like councilmen, you have mayors, you have deputy, you have sheriffs, and you have different people with different responsibilities. So all the burden is not on that one senator.
Okay.
You understand? I was just using that example for based
on. Don't they have more people though? Don't they have more residents?
Of course. However, the next thing is that in the legislature we have like 9 different committees. So, say for instance, I'm on the committee of finance, and I'm just still sticking to the example of 3 senators.
Okay.
If you have the committee of finance and we have a hearing and there's only 3 senators on the floor, I could easily manipulate the system and say, well, hey, listen to me. You don't pass this bill, and I'm going to give you X, Y, and Z favor, and in return, we're going to just control the whole island. But when you have opposition now, say for instance, an independent or whatever candidate, and they said, no, I object. You level the playing field.
Okay.
So I was just using the example of the 3.
Okay.
If you want to choose a higher number, so be it.
Okay.
But I don't think it should be that low. And I don't think it'll ever be that low.
Okay. No, that seems a little low.
Yeah.
I always jump from 15 to 11.
Yeah, but I was using the example of the mayor if you're going to have the same similar structure as the state.
Got you.
And regardless of population, you still need some kind of representative or go-to person. Because a senator's schedule is crazy, all depending on what time of year is it. Say, for instance, it's budget season. If it's budget season going on and you're dealing with the different budgets and dealing with the different departments to find out how much money they need.
Okay.
And then there's a situation in a certain district, you're so busy, you don't have time to be dealing with that because you're dealing with budget hearings, preparing yourself, crunching in numbers to prepare for the budget. Now, you have constituents telling you, hey, but we need you. You understand? So you need other representatives.
Okay.
You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah. I mean, I'm I guess in general, I'm for it. Because coming back to St. Croix in 2008, I just to me, much hasn't changed. And I sort of see changes in my neighborhood when the roads are paved and the streetlights are, now I'm feeling the effects of what the government's doing. I'm feeling it on my block. If it's happening in your block, I'm happy for you, but hey, it's not happening on my block. You know what I'm saying? So
and I'm glad you mentioned that, and that's how come I tell people stop comparing the Virgin Islands to the States. Yes, we are the United States of the Virgin Islands, but we are not a state. We're a territory.
We're a territory.
We're an island. An island that doesn't have a certain population.
Yes.
That doesn't generate a certain amount of revenues.
Yes.
So we have to stop wanting to be like the States and just be what we are originally are. And that's Caribbean island. We want these big major projects and things that are happening on the mainland, but we cannot afford that. We cannot afford our lifestyle. So we have to be very mindful. Puerto Rico has a different population from us. They can afford to do certain things, but even down to them, they still have financial situations.
Yeah, they still got some struggles too, yeah.
And the reason why, no matter how you want to put it, you will never be a state. You're just a territory. When you're a state now, you're able to tap into a lot of those federal monies. And then you have good representation when it comes to Congress.
To get those monies to your state.
Right now, we only have a delegate to Congress that has no vote.
Yeah.
You have a voice. You can go and speak on behalf of the territory, but you don't really have a vote on certain powers that a congressman might have on the mainland. So we will always be to a certain disadvantage based on our status as a territory.
Okay.
So we have to be mindful that we are not a state and we are an island.
Okay. An island territory.
So we have to put a structure of government in place that benefits these 3 islands.
Okay.
And start worrying about the states. How much senators the states have, how they do things. It's totally different based on population.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. So it's about 9:14. I mean, time is flying. I guess we're having fun here. But let me run down my list here of some things here. Where's my list at here? Where's my list at here? My list is somewhere here. But let's talk about, here it is right here, agriculture. It's a big thing here. A lot of people, we're the breadbasket. At one point we were growing lots of this and that, feed ourselves, export. I mean, what are your thoughts on agriculture? I mean, it's a thing that, it's like one of those low-hanging fruits, low-hanging things that we can do to sort of get the economy rolling, is to start growing stuff. We got good soil here, we got good soil there. Why don't we just start growing products, produce, vegetables, fruits, and help ourselves? This could tie to this whole campaign, healthy living campaign as well. But, restaurants, and then we can export some of this stuff away. Feed ourselves first, and make sure we grow enough that we can send some away to other island countries. And we get money in. It's a transaction. What are your thoughts on agriculture?
Man, listen to me. Department of Agriculture just need to do what they have to do. You understand? The government's supposed to be a support system to farmers. The farmers still have to go there and do their own thing. However, Department of Agriculture is supposed to be like a safety net or a support system.
Okay.
The farmers need to do what they have to do, collect their data, put in the hard work, continue doing what they're doing. The Department of Agriculture is supposed to use their resources and power as a government to tap into certain sources and get funds or get whatever help or information, bring in the experts, people who actually understand this industry and then can show these farmers the route. Because I can guarantee you, whoever is there right now obviously do not know how to get us to the next level because we're not on that level. You understand what I'm trying to show you? So bring in the experts. I'm a person that if I don't know something, I find someone that knows it.
Okay.
So as far as my role as a senator, we can appropriate the funds. Say, for instance, we see agriculture has potential, in which we know it has potential based on our history and Island St. Croix. We know the potential is there. But are these farmers and the Department of Agriculture are willing to work together to make that happen? If not, it doesn't matter what I do.
So is that the problem now, that they're not working together well, or they're not working together at all?
I won't say that there are conflicts. I won't say that they're battling with each other. But what I'm trying to show you, if we are not reaching to a level where we're exporting by the tons and the economy is booming because of agriculture, obviously they're not working together.
Okay.
And when you say not working together, it doesn't mean that they're fighting or arguing. It's just that they are not using the resources. Like, say, for instance, if I'm the Commissioner of Agriculture and I'm hired by the Governor of the United States of the Virgin Islands and we have a delegate to Congress, I can sit down with a delegate to Congress. I can tell the governor, hey, this is my plan. This is the vision I have. I can see for St. Croix. What can you do to help us get to this next level? All right. Kind of federal level, delegate to Congress, do what you have to do. Governor, make sure that, hey, you have my back. Senators, if we need equipment at Department of Agriculture, can you make sure that's in the budget and you appropriate the funds to make sure if we need new tractors and we want to lend it out to these guys out there, can you do that for us? Sure, no problem. But the Commissioner of Agriculture has to be the pilot, the main person with a vision, and we following him.
Okay.
Because I could have a vision as a senator for agriculture, but you should take me from agriculture and put me as a Commissioner of Agriculture.
Yeah. Take you from being a senator to being the commissioner.
You understand? The commissioner has more powers and duties or a better role or more effectiveness when it comes to controlling agriculture and pushing agriculture. I can just do what I can in my legislative responsibilities. Like, if you need a bill changing the structure of the agriculture, giving the commissioner more powers or less powers, I can pass a bill and do that. I can pass a bill and say, well, we're going to increase the salaries for Department of Agriculture employees, or whatever the case may be. But as far as having a vision to push agriculture, it has to come from the commissioner.
Okay. So I'm assuming that means yes, that because I don't know, I just see we have all this land here. Why can't we just grow more? I mean, you know what I'm saying? It just seems like a very kind of a simple thing to do. You know, if a farmer's got 2 acres, give him 4, and let him just grow more. You know, I mean that's how I'm sort of thinking about it. You know, just give him 2 more acres.
You know, what's the problem? We have people who have an employee mindset, and they don't have a boss mindset or a producer mindset. You have consumers and you have producers. Okay. We consume a lot. Okay. We need to remove ourselves from being consumers and being producers. So it's a mental thing. You have to have a shift mentally. Okay. You know, and no matter what legislation I pass, until they have that mental shift of being producers and not consumers, we just have laws on the books. Yeah. And nobody's working them. So we have to shift our mentality from being consumers, consuming all these stateside products, and say, hey, we want to produce our own products, produce it for our people, and if we can produce on a larger scale, well, we can export it. Yes. But we have to be able to feed ourselves first before we can go out and feed other people. Yeah.
And you know, this whole thing of agriculture to me ties into the whole thing of just having 2 Category 5 hurricanes pass here. I mean, what if we got cut off and those ships were coming in with produce or whatever? I mean, how are we going to feed ourselves? I think, this is sort of a side note here, that we should have already built a couple huge, like, warehouses and just been stocking stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? I think I saw on NPR or one of them news channels the other day there that Puerto Rico has like 3 or 4 of these things. Massive warehouses that they're water and just all kinds of stuff that in the event that this stuff can be given out to the residents of the island. But, I mean, you know, and food obviously is a part of that too. But I don't know. It just seems.
You know what's the problem, David? The past 10 years, when hurricane season came around, anybody notified you? Did they have like alerts or marketing or community outreach? No. Like, you know, hey, it's June 1st. Prepare for hurricane. Yeah. Da-da-da-da. You heard any of those things? No. All of a sudden, you're hearing it, right?
Yeah. But I knew that. I mean, I knew in a sense.
But everybody do not know that.
Okay.
So what I'm trying to show you, for some reason, our government tend to get things right or start to take initiative after we went through a crisis. Like, we have to suffer first
for things to change.
Like, but I believe in prevention is better than cure, and that requires vision. Yeah. You have to have vision. You understand? If a bird with its natural instinct can leave and go someplace else before a storm hits, that bird has vision. Because I could give you a tip and say, well, hey, David, you know, if you plant 10 of these, you know, by next year, those things are worth $1 million. And you'll be like, man, you're talking crap. And you miss out on an opportunity. But if you have vision, you will act on it, right?
Yes.
And that's all we have in here, a lack of vision.
Okay.
We wait until a crisis comes and then, we need to do that now because based on what we went through, we don't want to go through that again. But I'm like this. I don't want that to even happen.
Come to that point, yeah. For me, with the last 2 Cat 5s, I wasn't here for Hugo. I came down like several months afterward. So I don't know what it was like to live through it, but I was here for the last 2. But I think that as much as what FEMA has done and what everybody else has done to get the island to where it is now, to me, things are still missing. You know, the warehouses, the supplies. I mean, what if we got hit by another Cat 5 this year, and just in a matter of 3 or 4 months. I mean,
David,
you know.
Man, listen to me. And I want everybody who's listening to this show to understand. When a senator passes a bill, right? That senator is investing in the future of the Virgin Islands.
Okay.
So, with that said, everything that we are experiencing right now, whether it's hardship or good times, it is based on the investments and the decisions of those in the past. So the reason why we're experiencing these hardship during this hurricane this past hurricane season, because they failed to act.
Yeah, from prior legislation.
Whether it's 15, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Because if I'm a senator and I pass a bill right now, like I said, you're not going to feel the effects of that bill right away, depending on what kind of bill it is.
Okay.
If it's a bill that's going to benefit in the long term, is my children going to feel that? Not really us. We're not going to feel that right away. Okay. So what I'm trying to show you, based on the lack of vision and the lack of action, we are going through this right now. So you're asking, where's the warehouse? You don't wait for now to build a warehouse. Those warehouses should have already been there. Like you said, Puerto Rico already have that. So I don't really want to talk too much of the problem, but all I'm basically saying is lack of vision. We have to say, well, hey, in the next 5 to 10 years, we don't want to be in this situation. How we could develop a long-term plan, no matter who is the next governor, will act on this plan and continue it. And not when he comes in, like Trump, man, I don't like Obamacare. We're getting rid of Obamacare. No, if it's working, leave it.
Yeah.
And if it's in progress and it's for the benefit of the people, leave it.
Stay in place, yeah.
You know, and that's the problem we have here is like egos. Because I campaigning against you. I'm governor, whatever, and you're governor. I'm governor. I'm the governor. You're a gubernatorial candidate, and I'm the incumbent. I'm the sitting governor. You trying to get my seat. You hate my guts. Now you finally win. Now when you get in power, you're gonna try everything to mash up my legacy and reverse all the decisions I made to make me look stupid. And you well know that those were good decisions, but because of your ego. You just want to tarnish my reputation. And that's the thing we have around here. We have good ideas and people just come in and then they just tear it up and just do their own thing. And then we keep resetting every 4 to 2 years.
Yeah, keep starting over. Let me ask you another quick question here. On education, they got the biggest budget. Is there anywhere that we can sort of do some chopping on the top?
No, I don't believe in chopping down the top for the education budget. However, as far as positions, we have to restructure our Department of Education.
Yeah, but restructuring is not reducing.
No, but restructuring meaning you can make changes to salaries, whether it's higher or lower, putting people in different positions because that position is redundant. You know, it was not really needed. We could use you elsewhere in education.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to show you?
Okay.
So I don't believe in messing with education and messing with health budget.
Okay.
Because those are two important things. Without health, you can't get education. But without education, you won't know how to be healthy or live healthy. So it goes hand in hand, education and health.
Okay.
You know, because you could be homeless, but once you're eating healthy, you're still good.
Yeah.
But for you to eat healthy, you have to be educated.
Yeah.
So I don't mess with those two things.
They go hand in hand. Okay.
I don't mess with the budget. When it comes to, say for instance, Department of Finance or one of those crazy departments, like I said, patients we could reduce.
Yeah.
But don't mess with education.
Okay.
The problem is, like I said before, is generating revenues. And if we reducing the budget, we be basically saying, okay, the cost of operation, we're going to cut that. Meaning we're depriving the students of a high quality of education. And right now, these teachers need their salaries to be increased.
Well, I'm not talking about teachers. I'm talking about...
But it's a domino effect. Because, say, for instance, we have $10 million going to a certain part of the budget. We might just say, well, that's only $10 million. But until you actually have someone going there and say, okay, if we mess with this $10 million, who is going to affect? Am it affecting that person? Who else or what other department would it affect? And sometimes we just make decisions and say, we want to save $10 million, but not knowing that it hurt the special ed.
You can have a rippling effect.
Yeah, it hurt the special ed department. You know? So we have to be very mindful when we start messing with the education budget and have the experts come in and say, if we take this $10 million, who is it going to affect? And to be honest with you, in the past, we had leaders who said, we don't care who's going to affect. We're going to take the $10 million.
I got you.
You know, so I don't believe in messing with those budgets.
Okay. Okay. All right. So it's about actually 9:29 here. Our guest tonight is Javan James. He is running for the 2018 Senate here in the Virgin Islands. One quick question for you. The Attorney General, he's appointed by the governor. A lot of people feel that as a top law person, he should be elected. He should be running and campaigning, maybe 2 or 3 of them campaigning and doing their hoopla, so that the citizens can vote. What do you any quick thoughts on that? Because the governor, I'm sure he has his own but his own attorney to represent him on that legal level. But for the people, I mean, I think that it makes sense, in my opinion, that the people have their own top law to represent the people in these these types of cases.
I only have one advice for the Attorney General: do the right thing, do your job.
Okay.
Because regardless of what, say for instance, we have him elected. If he still don't do the right thing, just like our politicians, we elect politicians and they don't do the right thing. They don't do it. So, the governor has to hold him accountable. Now, some people say, well, how he gonna put the governor in check? And that's his boss.
Yeah.
That's the big question.
Yeah,
But if that's the case, that should show you that I guess we need a different governor.
Yeah, well.
Because at the end of the day, we have 3 co-equal branches of government. If we find that there is conflict, at some point, the legislature could intervene.
Intervene, yes.
You understand? They can hold an investigation, conduct an investigation, and call them to the Senate hearing and question them on matters.
Yeah.
You see that happening in the Senate floor in the States, on the mainland.
Yeah.
Why we don't have those things down here.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the legislature need to do what they have to do.
Okay.
And regardless of who is going to offend. And I know it's a small knit community and everybody knows each other, but if you do the right thing.
Yeah. All right, man. So we'll leave it at that. It is exactly 9:31. Our guest tonight is Javan James. He's running for the Senate coming up here, 2018. This is his first time running. So just give us, just wrap it all up. Give us your party, your number, and just put it all together, and we'll just leave it at that.
Well, I would like to close off by saying the role of a senator is to appropriate funds, pass bills and amendments, scrutinize the executive branch, and deal with local matters. We have commissioners, we have directors, we have the judicial branch, we have the executive branch, who has different roles. So it's very important we know the role of a senator. No senator could fix the road. However, what the senators can do is put a budget together and appropriate funds to fix the road in the fiscal budget for the upcoming year. So if we say we want to fix the roads in 2019, in 2018 we're going to put in a budget that we're going to appropriate $50 million. We're going to give it to the Department of Public Works, and they're going to deal with it, and they're going to deal with the roads. I'm just throwing a wild number out there.
Yes.
So I just want to let you know, a senator cannot fix the road. A senator cannot give you your tax return. However, the senator can appropriate funds and put it in the budget, in the fiscal budget. Like if you look at the fiscal budget for next year or this year, they always put a certain aside to pay out, whether it's 36 million, 40 million. So you have to pay attention to budget hearings. So when they pass in these budgets, before they come to a conclusion, look and see how much they are approving for tax returns.
I got you.
So it's very important that we know the role of the Senate.
And that's how much people will get a refund for that particular year.
Yeah, so if we realize they're screwing up because they ain't point enough. You understand? They only point a little bit to make us feel good, and then have us waiting.
Yeah.
So we understand the role of a Senate, Now I'm going to say my name is Javan James once again, number 15 on the ballot. I'm running as a Democrat. I will be taking part in the Democratic primary election on August 4th, 2018. That's a Saturday.
Yes.
You have until July 5th, 2018 to register as a Democrat, because only Democrats can take part in the Democratic primary election.
That's it.
Number 15 on the ballot. As I mentioned earlier, that my 3 key points when I get into the Senate is career and technical education. Number 2, making it easier for businesses to do business in the territory, or specifically the island of St. Croix. And 3, promoting our arts, music, and history, because there's a lot of money in that.
Yes.
If you capitalize on that, St. Croix has a rich culture. Because of St. Croix, we abolished slavery, and we could go on into the rich culture of St. Croix. And if we capitalize on that, on our music, our dance, and our history, and what have you, we could be the driving force of the Caribbean.
Okay.
And with that said, you can add me on Facebook, Javan James. That's Javan James Senior, and my number is 340-513-7970. My email is senate.javanjames@outlook.com. And my Twitter is Javan James VI, Instagram Javan James VI. Free to reach out to me. I'm 30 years old, making 31 in July, and that's all I have to say. And I'm humbly asking for your vote and support on August 4th, 2018.
All right, man. There it is. Want to thank you for coming through the studio again, man. Javan James Sr. He's running for office. He wants to be a senator in the St. Croix district coming up here in the Democratic primary is August 4th, and then the general election is in November 11th?
November 6th.
November 6th, okay. So if you like what he had to say tonight, do give him a vote. He's out and about. I'm assuming that he's going to be hitting your community, your neighborhood at some point, knocking on your door and just giving you, his thoughts, his position, and how we can help, and just wants to get a feel of what everybody's thinking here. So on that note, we'll leave it at that. Best of luck to you. If you move on to the next step, by all means, definitely would like you to come back and talk to us again. And we'll just leave it at that. I just want to say real quick that this is the It's Your Perspective talk show every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. until. We do have another guest lined up for tomorrow. That should be Nemi Jackson, if I got her name correctly. She's on the schedule for tomorrow. She'll be here, and we'll definitely be talking to her and getting her insight on how she can help get the Virgin Islands back on track. So on that note, thank you, James, for coming through.
And thank you for the time.
Yes. And we'll just leave it at that. We're out. Peace.